Now let's look at number 2. Here it wants us to write them as equivalent fractions with common denominators and then use them to add or subtract. Same thing that we did above. It just wants us to show the common denominators here. So I'm going to work over here off to the side, and I have 1/2 plus 1/3. And so I'm going to multiply them together to get my denominator. So I have a common denominator of 6, because 2 times 3 is 6. And I'm going to make my double number lines. And I know that each of them is out of 6. And I'm going to have my 1/2. So I split this in half, and I know that half of 6 is 3. So each of those sections is 3. I want one of them. So 1/2 is equal to 3/6. The next one I want to split into thirds. And if I take 6 and split into thirds, each section is worth 2. And I want one of those. So 1/3 is equal to 2/6. I'm going to go back to my original problem. And here I have my 1/2. It's equal to 3/6 plus my 1/3 is equal to 2/6. And I'm going to see that I'm adding them, so then that'll give me a grand total of 5/6. With the next one, I have 3 4/15 plus 2 1/3. I can again multiply the denominators, 15 times 3, so I have 15, 30, 45. So my new common denominator is 45. If I want to go ahead and write my 45ths in here, I can. I'm going to make my double number lines. 45ths, 45ths. One split into 15 sections. Oh my goodness. Some of you may have noticed that I can change the 1/3 into 15ths. If you feel comfortable doing that, you definitely can. It just depends on your comfortableness with numbers. So here I have my 45ths. I'm going to divide it into 15. So I split into thirds, and I'm going to split each third into fifths. So I share the middle, then share the sides, share the middle, share the sides. So now I have it cut into 15 pieces, and I know that 45 cut into 15 pieces will give me 3 in each section. So I have 3, 3, 3, 3. I only want 4, so 4 3s is going to give me 12 45ths. The next one is 1/3. I'm going to split it into the 3 sections. And 1/3 of 15 is 15. And I want one of those, so 1/3 gives me 15 45ths. I'm going to come back here, I'm going to rewrite the problem, make sure I put my whole numbers in there. And here I have 4/15 is equal to 12 45ths. And 1/3 is equal to 15 45ths. And then I can go ahead and add those two together to get 27 45ths. And then add the whole numbers together. 3 plus 2 gives me 5 wholes and 27 45ths. Great. The next one, I have 5 times 10 to give me 50 as a common denominator. And I'm going to draw my 2 number lines. So here I have 3/5 and 4/10. And I have a total of 50. Some people may have already realized that we can just change the fifths to tenths. If you did that, that's perfectly fine. 3/5 is equal to 6/10 if you did it that way. If you do not feel comfortable doing that yet, that's perfectly fine. We can still do it the double number line way. So you have 3/5. I'm going to share the middle, cut the other ones in half, and I have 3 of those, and each one is worth 10. Because 50 split into 5 groups gives me 10 in each group. I want 3. So that will give me 30 50ths. Now I have my 4/10. I'm going to go ahead and split into fifths, share the middle, split the sides, and then I'm going to cut each of those fifths in half. So now that I have tenths. And here I see that I have 4/10, and each one of those is worth 5. So I have 5, 10, 15, 20 50ths. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite my problem over here. Don't have any whole numbers to add in. So I have 30 50ths minus 20 50ths. And you make sure that I make my zeros look like zeros instead of sixes. And 30 50ths minus 20 50ths gives me 10 50ths. For the next one, I have 10 16ths minus 5 eighths. Some of you might notice that we can just change the eighths into 16ths. That can work. If you do not feel comfortable, then you would go ahead and do 16 times 8. do 16 times 8, I do 10 times 8 to give me 80. And then I do 6 times 8 to give me 48. So this gives me a grand total of 128, which isn't something I typically like to work with. However, I'm going to show you with using the number lines. And then I'm going to show you with just changing the 5/8. So here we have our 128. So I have 10 16ths and 5 eighths. And my total is 128. For the 10 16ths, I'm going to split it into 16ths. First, I'm going to split it in half. Then I'm going to split each half in half. Now I have fourths. Split the fourths in half. Now I have eighths. Split the eighths in halves. And now I have 16ths. I want 10 of those. And each one is going to be worth 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I want all of these. So that's 8 10 times, which gives me 80. Here I want eighths. I'm going to split in half. Split each half in half. Now I have fourths. Split my fourths in half. Now I have eighths. I want 5 of those. And each one of those is worth 16. So 16, 16, 16, 16, 16. So we have 5 of those. 16 5 times is going to end up giving us, so let's see, 16 16 32. 16 16 is 32. And then another 16. So here we have 64 plus 16 more is going to give us 80. That is equivalent fractions. So here I see that I have 80 128ths minus 80 128ths. And I see that that's going to be giving me 0 128ths, or just a big whopping 0. If I would have just changed one of them, I could have just used one number line to just change the 5/8 into 16ths. And so if I split 16 into 8 equal pieces, here's my fourths, and now my eighths, I can see that there'd be 2 in each one. And I want 5. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So then I can see there that 5/8 is equal to 10 16ths. So that is problem number 2.